Wall Street falls as boom stocks battle with inflation reading in awareness. Wall Street's fundamental indexes fell in uneven trading on Thursday, as increase and bank stocks slipped amid weaker threat urge for food in advance of a intently watched inflation file this week. 9 of the 11 most important S&P sectors traded lower, with power, financials and substances down 1% each. Consumer staples and customer discretionary sectors edged better. Apple Inc. Nasdaq, AAPL, and Amazon.com, Nasdaq, AMZN, declined 1%, dragging the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq indexes decrease. Bank of America NYSE, BAC, tumbled 2.5%, even as the wider banks index shed 1.7%. Rate-sensitive growth shares are below pressure because the benchmark U.S. 10-year Treasury yield climbed to as tons as 3.07%, its highest level on the grounds that May 11. Inflation concerns came to the fore beforehand of the U.S. Client Charge Index (CPI) record on Friday as Brent crude costs rose above $123 a barrel. There is a straight line read from better expenses on the pump for the U.S. consumer to better U.S. inflation, stated Hugh Roberts, head of analytics at Quant Insight. The hope changed into that Friday's CPI file could be ammunition for the peak inflation argument, and the crude oil move is provoking that. Consumer fees are predicted to have risen 0.7% in May, whilst the Middle Purchaser Rate Index, which excludes the risky meals and power sectors, rose 0.5% in the month. Investors worry a warm reading on inflation should hold the U.S. Federal Reserve on its direction to raise interest costs aggressively in opposition to the backdrop of an unstable inventory market, strong client spending and tight hard work situations. The U.S. Central Financial Institution has raised its short-term hobby price by means of 0.75% factor this year and intends to maintain it with 50 foundation factors increases at its assembly next week and again in July. Right now, we are on the confluence of 4 headwinds: a slowdown in monetary boom fee inside the United States, Fed tightening economic coverage, a rise in interest rates and a red warm inflation, said David Sekera, leader U.S. market strategist, at Morningstar. At 12:11 p.m. ET, the Dow Jones Industrial Average became down 172.65 points, or 0.52%, at 32,738.25. The S&P 500 became down 26.40 factors, or 0.64%, at 4,089.37, and the Nasdaq Composite changed into down 90.96 factors, or 0.75%, at 11,995.31. Alibaba NYSE, BABA, Group slid 7.9% after its associate Ant Group said it has no plan to provoke an initial public presenting. Tesla, Nasdaq, TSLA, Inc. rose 2.2% as the electric automaker bought 165 China-made automobiles final month, up sharply from 1,152 in April. Brokerage UBS upgraded the stock to buy and raised its earnings estimates for the next 3 years. NXP Semiconductors, Nasdaq, NXPI, jumped 6.1% on record. Samsung Electronics, OTC, SSNLF, plans to gather the Dutch chipmaker. Declining troubles outnumbered advancers for a 3.82 to 1 ratio at the NYSE and for a 2.51 to 1 ratio on the Nasdaq. The S&P index recorded 1 new 52-week highs and 30 new lows, whilst the Nasdaq recorded 13 new highs and 82 new lows.